Thank you so much for tuning in to San Diego Market Movers Question of the Week. I have such a pretty guest joining me today, Caroline Abkar-Rander. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here today.
I love having you, and I'm super excited to hear your opinion on the question of the week. And what that question is how reliable are these online home valuation sites like Zillow, Trulia, Redfin? Maybe you can shed some light on that.
That's a great question, actually, especially with the market going up. I think a lot of people are flocking to the sites to see what their homes are doing. We can just start by thinking about the actual data from those sites. If you look at Redfin and Zillow's website, they tell you that they have an error margin of 7%. Redfin is just under, Zillow is just over. That's for homes that are off market, which really, that's the primary type of person looking what their home is worth. The people whose homes are on the market, the error margin is 2%, but really the person who's looking is the person who's thinking of selling, whose home is not on the market. So 7% is actually pretty high. If you think about San Diego, $1 million is very common nowadays for a home, and some places way more. So that's $70,000, 7% of $1 million. So that's already a big error margin if you think about that. So really you need to have a professional giving you the estimate for that reason. And even the definition of a Zestimate is just a starting point. They even recommend that you should seek professional opinions in order to get the value of your home, something more accurate. And the reason for that, the error is because you cannot replace the human factor in the actual analysis of a home. There are certain things that computer algorithms can do, which is looking at facts and specs like home size and the location, the zip code. But there are things that they don't factor in, and that's the condition of the home. The tools have no idea if you as a homeowner have made any updates to your home. They're just looking at data. They're just looking at homes recently sold regardless of condition. And if you happen to have views, they don't know that. If you're on a cul-de-sac, they don't know that. If you're on a quiet versus busy street, they don't know that either. So those are all factors that affect the price. And the other important factor is the layout of the home inside. We call that functional layout. So really the way the home is laid out actually has a big incidence on the price, and tools have no way of knowing that. So you need an expert. You need somebody who looks at all of that to give you the actual estimate of your home. And remember, we're in a market where there are not a lot of comps, and that's the main thing that tools rely on, is the data, is the comps, and we don't have enough of them. So they don't have enough data points, and the data points they have are already obsolete, a month or two later, because the market is moving so quickly right now. And the tools do not have that. They don't have that ability to compensate for how the market is appreciating. You actually need an expert who knows that to tell you, based on all the factors that we just talked about, this is what your home really is worth. And if we take certain neighborhoods that are not cookie cutter, unless you're in a townhome area or a condo, if you have a neighborhood that has hills, views, no views, or bay views, canyon views, let's take Bay Park for an example, right? So that all exists in Bay Park. You're going to have the canyon views, the bay views, you have no views, you have upper Bay Park, lower Bay Park, different pockets, and they each behave differently. But when the tools, the Zestimates or the Redfins or any algorithms that are giving you home estimates are looking at it, they're just looking at the pockets in general, sometimes even the whole zip code. And unless it's completely uniform, then it really isn't very reliable, because we're talking, hundreds of thousands of dollars in difference if you have a water view versus no view, if you're elevated, if you're not. So for that reason, I have to say that, the tools alone are not accurate when it comes to getting a true estimate on the value of your home. They are just a starting point. That's all they are.
Well, thank you so much for those fantastic points. I appreciate it, and joining us at San Diego Market Movers Question of the Week.
Absolutely. Thank you.